No, it's totally different. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking specifically to our college freshmen out there. This is going to be a video filled with advice that I would tell my freshman year self. And I thought this would be the perfect time to share this video because a lot of people have already started going back to school. It's that time of year already, so why not give y'all some advice based on my own experience? Because if I was in your shoes, thank God I'm not again, I'd be wanting all the advice that I could possibly consume. So here we go. And if you're new here to my channel, just a little background, I was a college freshman in 2014. I attended Harvard University and I studied psychology and I got a minor in African American studies. I also have a video where I talked about why I decided to attend Harvard, so if you haven't checked that video out yet, please go ahead and do that now. But anyway, let's get to the content of this video. Alright, so first, I know that attending college, especially in a new environment that you've never been in and where you don't know anybody, I know that that whole task can be kind of daunting. So one of the first tips that I can give y'all is to be open. Be open to new experiences and making new friends, because when I went to college, I literally knew no one there. So I immediately had to make new friends and be open to doing that. And if it's somebody like me who's kind of shy, that's gonna take a lot of stepping out of your comfort zone if that's not something you're familiar with. Honestly, some of the people that I met within my first week of college were some of the people I ended up becoming the closest with. It's good to have some type of network or a family system to lean on, especially when times get hard, because they definitely will. Because I don't care what nobody's told you, college is not easy. Yeah, there'll be moments where you feel like you're tackling everything, you're on top of things, but there will inevitably be some moments where you're like, what the heck is going on? I need to vent. Who can I call up to go grab a quick meal or something like that? And that's where it's gonna be beneficial to have somebody that you know. And also, back to that trying new things part. When I attended college, I was very open at that point to trying new things. So at Harvard, we had this student activities fair or something like that. I can't remember the exact title of it, where they had like all these clubs on campus, just basically promoting their club. And so I went there and I ended up trying out for the cheer team, something I had no experience in doing. And I'm so happy that I did that. And I had that experience because it opened me up to having another group of friends that I really could trust with my life. I honestly met some of my closest friends on the cheer team. And so for you, if there's a club you're interested in, if there's a certain class you're interested in but you don't have any experience in, go ahead and try, because your college years are the years for you to experiment. Honestly, they're the perfect years for you to experiment, because if you've been one way your whole life, say you grew up really shy your entire life, but you're in a new place where nobody knows you, so you can just really reinvent yourself and be whoever you want to be and try as many new things that you like without feeling like you have to be cautious about what you're doing because you're concerned about how people perceive you, because nobody knows you on the college campus unless you're just some type of famous person. All right, tip number 2, be sure to talk to your advisors and your professors often. I had a peer advisor who was, I think she was a junior at the time, and I had an academic advisor who was basically kind of guiding me in my class choices. So I talked to both of them quite frequently, and honestly, without their advice, I probably would have been so lost. I wouldn't have known which classes to take, how to structure my study schedule, things like that. So if you have some advisors, which I'm pretty sure your school ain't gonna leave you out to dry like that without an advisor, and if they do, maybe consider another school, JK. But if you have an advisor, be sure to reach out to them often. If there is a question that you might even think is a dumb question, go ahead and ask it anyway, because how else are you gonna know if you don't open your mouth up and ask a question? And also, once you've chosen your classes and school is actually in session, talk to your professors often. Attend office hours as much as you can, because those are the times where you can really get to know your professors, because you're gonna need your professor to lean on. Say you don't really know what was going on in class that day, you need some extra help. They appreciate you stopping by office hours. Say you graduate school and you need a recommendation letter for a job or a grad school. It can be useful to have a professor that you know you can call on for that assistance in writing that recommendation letter. So develop those relationships early, make yourself stand out, because also, if you get yourself in a bind and say you bombed the test or whatnot, having a good relationship with your professor is definitely going to be beneficial to you. And also, since we're on the subject of academics, make sure you prioritize your schoolwork. That is the main reason why you're at college. Nothing else should be above that. You came there to get that degree. Don't forget that once you get caught up in all the exciting things going on campus, remember that your schoolwork is your first priority. Yeah, like you don't have to study 24/7. Make time to do other things, have fun, and try new things, but make sure your schoolwork is done. Even if you have to dedicate the majority of the week to your schoolwork, that's okay because that's what you signed up for. But you really have to make sure you develop a study routine that works specifically for you, because what works for your friends and other people in your classes might not work for you. You just have to find out what works for you. At the end of the day, your name is on that transcript, and you don't want to be looking bad your freshman year because you went to school and forgot why you came there and ended up partying, getting caught up in unnecessary stuff. Have your priorities straight, and then everything else, it's gonna fall in line too. And with that being said, choose your classes wisely. It helps to go in with a certain idea of what type of classes you're gonna take, and also take advice from people who've taken certain classes before if you can. Talk to your advisors about certain classes to see what people have previously said about classes so you can know whether that professor is gonna work for you, whether that class actually interests you before you go head first into taking a class. You'll save yourself a lot of trouble that way. And also, if you know you're not a morning person, don't be going out there choosing an 8 a.m. class because, oh, I did it in high school, I can do it in college. No, it's totally different. So if you know you're not a morning person, do not take an early morning class. I am begging you, because you're not gonna wanna get up. Like, even if you can do it good the first few weeks, when the semester really gets hard, it's gonna be harder to get up, and then one day you might be feeling like, oh, I can sleep in a little bit. It's not gonna hurt me to miss this class, and then you might get in the habit of doing that, and then before you notice, you done missed the whole month of class because you don't want to get up in the morning. So don't be that person. If you know you're more awake in the evening, try to select classes that are in the evening time if you can. And also another tip, try to become aware of all the resources you have on campus. My freshman year, I really struggled in my Spanish class because foreign languages are really hard for me. And I knew that our school had a lot of tutoring services on campus, so I looked into them because I'm like, it's free, I'm already here paying tuition and whatnot, I might as well take advantage of all the resources. So I attended tutoring whenever I could because I wanted my grades to be good and I wanted to work hard and achieve a good grade because that was why I was there. So if you know you're struggling in a certain subject and there's tutoring services that are offered, be sure to check them out, because why suffer in silence when you got all these resources out there to help you? All those resources are in place for your benefit, and you're basically paying for all of them, because think about how much tuition prices are. By the time I'm recording this video and by the time you actually watch this video, it might even be increased by the end, who knows? So make sure you take advantage of all the opportunities that you can. So that's why you need to make sure you talk to them professors as much as you can. Take advantage of those tutoring services, all the advising that you can get, all the free events, stuff that's going on campus. Take advantage of all that, because at the end of the day, it's basically like you're paying for all that anyway. So you might as well get as much as you can while you're there. And I know sometimes you might not want an extra tutoring session when you got a busy course load, but making that sacrifice, whether it's 1 hour per week or 4 extra hours per week, is really gonna benefit you in the long run. So make those sacrifices now so you don't have to worry about stressing later because you wish you would have taken that extra tutoring service at the end of the semester when you realize, like, dang, I got this low C or something, and it could have been a high B. And also, even though I said it's important to work hard while you're in college, make sure you prioritize your rest as well. I can honestly say that I only pulled one all-nighter dedicated to academics my whole 4 years of college. I know I'm no good when I don't have my rest. So if you're stuck and you're trying to decide, should I stay up all night, having a binge studying session because I've been slacking all semester, like, should I do that? Honestly, my advice would be no, because if you don't know about now, about the morning time, you probably still not gonna know it. So that's why it's important to make sure you put in all the hard work at the beginning of the semester. Don't get to the end of the semester and be like, dang, I wish I could have did this. Now I'm just trying to cram because I gotta make up for lost time. But if you do that and then you wake up in the morning, you're like, shoot, I'm not well rested, you're not gonna be able to perform your best. I don't care if you say you perform best under pressure. When you get that rest, it's like your brain is just, it works so much better. So please get your rest. And what I did my freshman year of college throughout my senior year, I had one dedicated day of rest every single week. Like, I could not do anything school related that day. Like, that was a non-negotiable for me. And I mainly did it for religious reasons because of the Sabbath day. That's something that's very important for Christians. But it also really benefited me as a student too, because having that one day of rest, it might seem like it's gonna put you behind, but once you get ready to tackle your schoolwork, after having that one day of rest, it's like you're totally refreshed and ready to consume more knowledge when you have that day of rest. So please take my advice and dedicate one day of rest. It don't have to be on the weekends. It can be in the middle of the week if you can. It don't even have to be one full day. You can do maybe 12 hours on Friday and then another 12 hours on Sunday if that's what works for you, especially if you have a class conflict or something like that, or maybe you have a sport that you're also participating in. So just do what works for you, but make sure you prioritize your rest because it's gonna benefit you in the long run. And another piece of advice, be sure to call your loved ones frequently. I was so surprised when I used to talk to my classmates in college and they used to be like, oh dang, I haven't talked to my parents in 2 weeks. Like, what? I talk to my parents at least once or twice a day, but that's because I have a really good relationship with my parents. But say you don't have a good relationship with your parents, or your parents aren't in your life anymore, be sure to find somebody that you can connect with, because having that connection and just remembering people from back home, especially if you go to a college that's far from where you live, it's gonna be beneficial for you to have somebody that you can talk to where you don't have to be worried about school or anything else going on campus, and you just like decompress that way. So find somebody that you can call. It can be an old friend or an old teacher. It can be a family member. It can be a sibling, somebody. Find somebody to connect to at least once a week. I'm gonna say that as a benchmark because I know sometimes people can get really busy and you can't be on the phone all the time. But me personally, I did it once a day, which is probably why I really didn't get homesick while I was at college. So yeah, but also don't be too tied up in what's going on in your hometown, because sometimes you can get a little caught up worried about what's going on at home. So have those boundaries in place where you know how much you can handle. And also, probably my most important tip here, I think it's probably my most important tip. Please remember that you don't have to have it all figured out yet. You're just a freshman in college. You were literally just in high school the other day. So you don't have to have it all figured out. And even at my big age now of 25, I still don't have it all figured out. And I know I didn't have it all figured out in college. Not my freshman year, not my sophomore year, not my junior year, not my senior year. Even if I thought I did, I really didn't have it all figured out. So please don't stress yourself out trying to figure out everything. You don't have to go into college already knowing what your major is. Take some classes that you're interested in and see what you want to do if you don't really know what you want to do. I went into college basically already knowing that I wanted to study psychology because I already did my homework and saw that that was the thing that most interested me. But after my first intro to psychology class, I was kind of second guessing it, and I was thinking maybe psychology isn't for me. But I didn't let that stress me out because I know I had plenty of time to get it figured out. And you do as well. You got plenty of time. Use those 4 years to really figure out yourself. Learn things about yourself that you weren't able to learn when you were in high school. Explore new things. Explore new places. Try something you've always wanted to try. Learn from other people. Learn from other cultures. Do whatever, and just constantly be willing to learn, grow, and take in all kinds of knowledge. And if people are stressing you out trying to make you figure out things, like that question when people always ask you when you travel home on the holidays,
so what are you doing this summer? What jobs do you have lined up?
Dang, let me breathe. I'm just a freshman. And it's okay to say that too. Like, say you don't have it figured all out, and it's okay. Don't feel pressure to rush yourself into something, because from experience, when I rushed myself into trying to figure out everything, those times I probably didn't make the best decisions because I felt pressured. So take your time, really get to know yourself and get to know what you like, what you don't like. And in due time, it's all gonna make sense and you're gonna have it figured out at some point. But don't rush yourself if you don't know what you're gonna do just yet, because you got time. Even though those 4 years do seem to fly by, take advantage of all the opportunities that you can and just enjoy college, because that's why you're there. You're there to enjoy, have fun, and learn. But don't stress yourself out. Alright, so hopefully I said something in this video that was helpful for y'all. And if you have any advice that you want to share with some college freshmen, please drop it down in the comments below. I might periodically upload videos that are dedicated to college students, so make sure you hit the subscribe button. And if there's something in particular that you want me to talk about, please also comment that down below so I can make a video for y'all. Alright, I'm out, y'all. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.